I also want to point out Bernie Sanders' final words in the second debate of the first two Democratic Party debates that took place on June 27, 2019. The final question to all candidates both nights was about what their first priority would be in their first administration. By the way, most of the talking points and even questions from the moderators at NBC were predominantly subjects that Bernie himself talked about in campaign speeches during the 2015-2016 primaries and since. There are widely popular issues with many voters who have been polled, as well as progressives, and now even to some extent in the Democratic Party establishment base. These issues include addressing climate change with the Green New Deal and energy system transition, Medicare for all or universal health care, reducing nuclear proliferation and ending interventionist wars, raising the minimum wage, and free college tuition. Bernie decided to focus on what the other candidates had not been during the debates, and here are his words. Quote, "I suspect people that are watching this debate are saying these are good people, have great ideas, but how come nothing really changes? How come for the last 45 years wages have been stagnant for the middle class? How come we have the highest rate of childhood poverty? How come 45 million people still have student loan debt? How come 3 people have more wealth than the bottom half of America?" And here's the answer. Nothing will change unless we have the guts to take on Wall Street, the insurance industry, the pharmaceutical industry, the military-industrial complex, and the fossil fuel industry. If we don't have the guts to take them on, we'll continue to have plans, we'll continue to have talk, the rich will get richer, and everyone else will be struggling. End quote. This isn't an official endorsement, and no one, including Bernie Sanders, is going to be perfect, but it is a fact. Millions of people know this. No other candidate in the 2020 presidential election has the overall experience, been on the right side of history, including with his voting record in Congress, has the future vision, enthusiasm, and attracts the largest attendances at rallies. This includes the impact with young generations and a growing number of all groups of people, including minorities of color and the LGBTQA+ community. One of Bernie Sanders' campaign surrogates, Professor Cornell West, is probably the best example of someone who understands the importance of a consistent legacy for decades and is quick to point out, even in mainstream media, how the centrists in the Democratic Party are too quick to jump on what will benefit them in the short term, even if there are issues that could technically be called examples of democratic socialism. He refers to the majority of candidates as being milquetoast politicians that can flip on positions without a real long-term passion and commitment to issues, regardless of number of years in service, while Bernie Sanders has been devoted to many of these issues his entire adult life.